Sadie Sink is a really interesting character because the first report is from Jeff Steiner that she's Jean Grey for the X-Men reboot. A couple weeks later, maybe a week later, it's revealed in the trades that she's in Spider-Man Brand New Day, and she's a big character. She's like second on the call sheet to Tom. Big time character, Sadie Sink, okay? Now that's when you start hearing all these other weird things, like maybe she's multiversal in some way. Maybe she's a version of Mary Jane. Maybe she's Toby's daughter. Maybe she's Gwen Stacy, as Christian Harloff reported that he heard from a very reliable person. So take that into last week, and I'm talking to somebody, and they said that Sadie Sink is the multiverse. Okay? They said Sadie Sink is playing the multiverse. And I was like, that's really weird. And it immediately made me think, and this is where the story's going to get so funny, and I'm such an idiot, and Rob is so good with comic books, but we're going to get there in a second, okay? So I hear this from and by the way, My Time to Shine actually did tweet about this. She tweeted that she was like, what if Sadie Sink is the multiverse? So she's probably hearing the same thing that I'm hearing, which is that Sadie Sink is the multiverse, okay? Now, I know it does sound stupid on the surface, and I'm not here to tell you that it's not going to be stupid. It could be stupid, but let me just explain my part in this, because that's why I fucked up. So, guys, I'm literally so dumb. I'm such a stupid dummy that I'm remembering a scene from Hickman's New Avengers where Shang-Chi is meditating with a female character that in my head I thought was Abyss. And Shang-Chi is getting this character to remember what's actually going on. And there's all this stuff about learning about the multiverse and this stuff. So in my mind, I mixed up two characters. In my mind, I mixed up Captain Universe and Abyss. For some reason in my brain, they were the same characters. And all this stuff, like that very scene with Shang-Chi, where she's meditating with him and everything, I'm like, yeah, Abyss. I remember when Abyss did this and all that. So anyway, this makes its way onto the internet. I made a video on it, which, by the way, I didn't even check to see how the video's doing. I don't know if the video's doing well, but I don't know. Either way, Twitter people started talking about it, right? So a bunch of people start saying, Den of Nerds says that she's Abyss and that she's the multiverse. Now, I want to explain what happened. In my brain, yes, Enigma Force, James, exactly. And we're going to get there in a second. So in my brain, I mix these characters up. So then I go to my source and I say, oh, so that's Abyss. My source checks with their source and says, yes, it is Abyss. But here's what's crazy about that. Either I got incredibly lucky and I misremembered something, and Marvel's doing that weird thing where they're changing the characters and it is Abyss, but they're giving her the Enigma Force and it's actually going to be Captain Universe, or the source is being lied to. Yeah. Now, it could be the case that the source is lying on purpose, or it could be the case that the source is being lied to. Because there's, is it technically possible that she is playing Abyss? Yes, but I literally misremembered shit and threw Abyss out, and then this person was like, that's what it is. So, yeah, they're either, trying to trick me, which totally can happen. Like, there's a source out there. There's a guy named, oh, fuck, I'm blanking on this dude's name. I can see his face. Look, the Scooping Cabal is like a bunch of weirdos. Not all of them are weirdos, but a lot of them are literally weirdos that all just have some access points. They all are in a big group chat together and they're weird. They'll put out fake info sometimes. They will. And they'll put out fake info to people like me sometimes. 100%. And they're really weird. They're weird parasocial weirdos, a lot of them. And that could be what's going on. It absolutely could be the case that the person I was talking to was lying to me on purpose to get me to say Abyss, even though it's not Abyss. Absolutely, that could be what it is. I don't think that's what it is, though. I actually think that the reason Christian got it confirmed that it's Gwen, the reason Jeff got it confirmed that it's Jean, is that Marvel, the Luke Cage thing. Remember when they did the Luke Cage thing where they're saying, oh, this is Luke Cage's house, but it's really Steve Rogers. Maybe that's what it is. Now, to take a step back, we heard from comicbook.com that whatever is going on, there is a big twist to the Sadie Sink character. Okay, so if she is the multiverse, which is still kind of shaky for me, I was told that, but again, I'm not sure. And maybe there's misinformation out there. It seems like Marvel's putting out fake info, or people are lying or whatever, right? So if she is the multiverse, then she's not Abyss. Oh, let me tell you the thing with Rob. Because this part's funny, and then we'll watch a little video on Captain Universe and the Enigma Force. So yesterday, Rob randomly calls me because he sees some of the tweets about me talking about Abyss, this, that, second, and the third. And I'm sitting there having a combo with Rob. It was a good combo, of course. And I was like, I was explaining Abyss and shit, and he was like, no, that's not what it was. And I was like, dude, no, I remember this part and everything. And like we sort of like go back and forth for a while, and then I was like, okay, well, what about just a character that is the multiverse? And then he's like, well, that's more like Captain Universe, who has the Enigma Force, and then she is an aspect of reality, and they do learn that the multiverse is dying because of her. And I was like, and he literally describes the scene with Shang-Chi, and Rob was the person that got me to realize I fucked it up, and I mixed the characters up. Because I was like, Rob, you're literally explaining the exact scene I was remembering, and I just had placed the Abyss character there instead of Captain Universe. Holy shit. So shout out to Rob for being a good friend and also for being a fucking encyclopedia of comic books. Let's watch a little video here on this character, and then let's talk about Sadie Sink, okay? Because I think this could be what it is here, all right?
The Enigma Force is a primordial cosmic energy that connects all living beings in the microverse. It serves as the universe's balancing force, stepping in during times of crisis to maintain order and fight chaos.
I don't want these captions. How do I
get
these
captions? The Enigma
Force
is closely tied to the Unipower, the energy source that transforms
the Unipower
individuals into Captain Universe.
Captain
the Enigma
Universe.
Force plays a central role in protecting the microverse.
So it protects the microverse. It's a thing that whenever the multiverses or the universe is in trouble and there's like a big threat, it manifests itself and then picks a host. That's where Cosmic Spider-Man comes in.
Subatomic universe where major battles against cosmic threats take place. During the acts of vengeance, the Enigma Force manifests as the Unipower and chooses Spider-Man as its host, turning him into Cosmic Spider-Man. The Enigma Force often faces off against the Psycho Man, a villain who seeks to corrupt and control the microverse.
Psycho
its
Man!
Champions have also fought against Baron Karza, a ruthless dictator with cosmic ambitions. The Enigma Force is linked to eternity.
Wait a minute, what? The Enigma Force is linked to eternity, you say?
One of Marvel's cosmic entities representing the entirety of the universe. In the recent King in Black storyline, the Enigma Force was revealed to be a crucial weapon against Null, the god of symbiotes. It chose Eddie Brock, aka Venom, as its host, granting him the power to defeat Null and save the universe.
Okay, so that's the Enigma Force. Now, a couple of things that are really interesting there. This is not the first time I've talked to you guys about the Enigma Force, and it's not the first time I've talked to you about this idea, this concept of antimatter, matter, life force, destruction force. This dichotomy does appear to be in the MCU. It is most noticeably there in Deadpool and Wolverine, actually. So Deadpool and Wolverine, the Shredder is literally antimatter energy and matter energy, and when you combine them, it shreds the universe. That's the whole idea. And there is this sort of thing that's set up there. And you know what else is really interesting is like the defense against chaos. And remember in Endgame, the Ancient One says, if we lose the stones, we lose our ability to protect us against the darkness. Chaos would ensue and we would be overrun. Right? And there's all the Knoll stuff for sure. I don't know that that's the way they're going to go. It seems like they're kind of removing the Knoll stuff from it. However, if they were ever going to bridge them, yes, it would appear that there's precedence there to have Knoll, the darkness, and then the life force or the Enigma Force. Okay, so this is all interesting. And this character of Captain Universe in the Marvel Comics thing was really interesting because this character became Captain Universe and didn't know why and didn't have her memories. Shang-Chi eventually figures out a way to meditate with her and uncover the secrets of what happened to her. And she was a person that was just supposed to die. And then the Enigma Force like chooses her as a host, becomes powerful in order to protect the universe. So what's going on with the Enigma Force is when the universe is threatened, it manifests and gives an incredible power to like a host, which is similar to the White Hot Room and the Phoenix Force and stuff like that, which, you know, Rob was explaining to me yesterday, like the White Hot Room exists outside of the universe, of the multiverse. So like, you know, they could be doing, like it could end up being Jean Grey still. But from what I've heard from people, she is the multiverse and she's just a regular ass street level person that happens to be the multiverse. Now, that's so vague and we have no idea. We don't even know if that's actually true, right? Like, because nobody else is coming forward to confirm this. Maybe we'll know in a couple of weeks if that's 100% confirmed. It's something I heard from somebody reliable, but we don't know if it's real. If this is what it is, I think what they're doing with Peter is they're going to set up a scenario in which he learns about the multiverse collapsing via this character. Just like in the Hickman run, right? So that's probably what they're playing with. However, this could also lead to Cosmic Spider-Man. I know, I'm doing that fanboy dreaming thing again. We're going fucking crazy here, but listen, Linda, listen. Tom Holland's Spider-Man was said to be very important to the whole thing with Doom and Doomsday and all that, and he was going to be the main character in Kang Dynasty. Some people said he was going to be the anchor being of 616. Not really sure what the deal is with that. But Cosmic Spider-Man is a thing. And so, I don't know, man. It seems like pretty outlandish, right? It seems like they wouldn't do this. But if God Doom rules Battleworld, they're probably going to need some really powerful variants. And there was some reporting that said there would be unique variants that we would only ever see in these two Avengers movies, and then they would be gone forever. And what a lot of people like myself were thinking was like, dude, if you're going to do that, go for it. Give us the craziest variants. Like, I want Old Man Phoenix, Wolverine at the end of time with the Phoenix Force, Rune King Thor. You know what I mean? Like, I want to see Cosmic Spider-Man. You know? Like, I want to see the Maestro Hulk. I want to see, like, the coolest variants possible. And if that's what they're doing, and they're doing all these really powerful things, then maybe it will be Tom Holland Spider-Man gifted with the Enigma Force. Cosmic Spider-Man would go pretty fucking hard, dude. But I just don't know, right? So anyway, to take it away, take it a step back from all the crazy speculation. At the end of the day, the thing is, I don't think it's Abyss, man. And I think it's quite weird that my source confirmed Abyss. It's sus, to be honest with you. It's sus. Because that's not even the right character. That's not even who I was actually thinking of, right? So shout out to Rob for helping me to figure that out. And then Captain Universe, the Enigma Force. I don't know. Is it too weird, chat? Is it too weird? Or do you think that Marvel could actually do this? Do you think they could do the Enigma Force with Peter Parker? What do you think? Yes or no? Cosmic Ghost Rider? Oh, hell yeah. Cosmic Ghost Rider would be great. Cosmic Ghost Rider would be incredible, yeah. Shit, bro. Infinity Thing would be incredible. Yes, Infinity Thing would be dope. 100%, yeah. Not weird enough? What? Really? I think Cosmic Spider-Man's pretty weird, but you know what? They just did a Spider-Man Magic the Gathering set, and Cosmic Spider-Man is in that set. Has Cosmic Spider-Man popped up in Marvel Comics at all recently with any of the new stuff? Is the Enigma Force playing a role in One World Under Doom at all? Because that'd be cool. That'd be real cool. I think they should do George Clooney, Black Panther. Okay, bud. You know, I like a couple cups of coffee as well, but you're clearly taking it too far. Doug a Ditch with a 10 spot says, you hilariously just called leakers a bunch of parasocial weirdos. Why do they keep proactively offering you info when they know you have quite a scathing opinion of them? What's their motivation? Well, I mean, I don't know. You'd have to ask them. I have a couple theories on it. I would think that, number one, they might have as much of a scathing opinion of themselves. Maybe they know exactly what it is, and they're like, you know what? I don't like this motherfucker, but he's right. Also, you know what else I think is with people, and I think that this is probably true of Scoopers, but it's probably just true of everybody. People just like to brag about what they know. You know what I mean? Like, it's weird because, like, there should be zero ego in it. You don't know shit. Somebody else literally knows it, and then they tell you. And I mean, I guess unless they're out there, like, hitting the pavement like a hard-hitting journalist or whatever, then sure, then that's work, that's worthy of praise or whatever. But, like, a lot of these people just, like, have access. They're just, like, an executive's kid, or they have somebody that works at a high level of Marvel they know or whatever, right? So I think it's so weird. Like, I think the scooping game is so weird because people, like, take pride in all of it and they, like, feel like it's a big accomplishment and all this shit. I really don't think it is. And I don't think you should feel... Yeah, but whatever. That's just my opinion on it. I think at the end of the day, they can't help themselves. At the end of the day, I think they literally can't help themselves. They have to tell people what they know because they need people to know how cool they are because they know all this shit. Duh. Like, I bet. Like, it's, I don't know. I could go further on it, but yeah, that's just how I feel. Yeah. If I was a scooper, I'd for sure lie to you after this. LMFAO. Yeah, but like, even if they did, they can't help themselves. They're going to put out real info. I'm going to get the real info either way. I literally can't lose. Like, they're so obsessed with putting out the info that they know. They're never going to stop. And they're going to continue to tell us everything, and probably more than they should. Like, I would honestly, if the scoopers went away forever, if they just decided, like, you know what, I don't need to do this anymore. I know the info, but who gives a shit? And they just kept it to themselves. I would actually respect that. I'd be like, yo, that's crazy. But I'm so far on the opposite end of that. Like, they literally cannot help themselves. Like, I could be even more rude. I could be even more vicious. I could literally attack them, and I could block them all, and I'd still get all the info they have because they can't help themselves. They're going to just keep spilling it. And I'd love it if they didn't, actually. But they can't help themselves. But you wouldn't get any content if they did that? Oh, no, I totally disagree. I'd actually probably have even more content because then I could speculate completely freely. I could do all the crazy theories that I do. I could cook up all this dope shit, and I wouldn't have any of these little buttholes coming out and be like, actually, my grandpa's uncle works at Marvel, and that's not what it is, Josh. Stop having fun. Deadass, I'd be doing way better if they literally all went away tomorrow. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. You tell us stuff that scoopers don't. Doesn't that make you a scooper? Hell no. Hell no, bro. Low-key getting spoiled quickly is too ass and predictable. I don't know what that means. My grandpa's uncle works at Marvel. Oh, really? Good for you, bud. Good for you. I'd ask him a couple things here and there and put it behind a paywall. When there's leakers and scoopers, you're bound by whatever the main narrative is. I don't know exactly what that means, but sure. Don't you disrespect my boy Josh like that. Wait, what? Remember when you won Scooper King Award, though? Hell yeah, I remember that. And I bragged to all of them, too. I hit them all up in the DMs. I said, you did your whole fucking life to this shit. I do it on the side, and I'm the king of this game. Get the fuck out of my face. And I have no idea why they don't like me. You know what I mean? Being that you're the king, you speaking down on your peasants makes sense. My man Kendall, let's go, baby. This guy gets it. Hey, bro, happy Friday. Happy Friday to you too, bud. Hope you're doing well. You're on the Marvel Spoilers Google Doc with a record? Oh, shit! Who gives a fuck? I just get info from a few of my friends who are accountants on the movies and shows. Damn, tell me all that shit so I can look really cool like the scoopers. My birthday is tomorrow. Happy birthday, brother. Happy birthday. You know what? Real talk though, chat. Can we have like just a real little moment? Actually, let me stop this clip. Stream might crash. Sorry.